Hello, everyone. We're going to read another book today at Cindy Harper Speaks, and this one is entitled Potato, A Tale from the Great Depression. If you don't know what the Great Depression was, that's when people in the 1920s, when many companies and banks and our whole economy basically closed and people didn't have a place to live, a place to work, and there were hard times. This book is written by Kate Lyde and illustrated by Lisa Campbell Ernst. We're going to hear about a girl and her grandparents, a story. This is a story about my grandfather and my grandmother. It is also a story about the Great Depression and how hard things were. Once upon a time, there was a mother named Agnes and a father named Clarence. They had a baby girl named Dorothy. Dorothy and her parents lived in Iowa. Clarence and Agnes had not been married long. Clarence lost his job and the bank took away their house. Agnes's father had a job in a coal mine and Clarence joined him. Then one day the coal mine closed. There were no other jobs available. People took jobs wherever they could find them. Unemployed will do any work. People were desperate. Someone they met told them there were jobs in Idaho picking potatoes. Agnes knew someone who had a car they could borrow, so they borrowed money for gas and left Iowa with Dorothy. For 2 weeks, they lived in tents. During the day, they picked potatoes. Dorothy played in the fields among the potato plants. The man who owned the farm said that they, in their own time at night, could go out in the picked over fields and get the leftover potatoes. So they bought used burlap sacks for a penny each. They went out at night and picked potatoes and put them in the sacks. The work only lasted 2 weeks. They picked potatoes for themselves every night. At the end of the 2 weeks, they loaded up Dorothy and the potatoes and headed home. There were potatoes wherever there was room for potatoes. On the dashboard, hood, trunk, and running boards, Dorothy had to sit on the potato sacks. The money they had earned from working, they used for gas. When they got back home, Clarence and Agnes traded potatoes for other things, groceries, clothes, and even a pig. They worked very hard to live on what little they had. At last, Clarence found a job in the family, moved to Washington, D.C., and then to Hawaii. Soon, Dorothy had 2 baby brothers, Bob and Gary. Late at night, Dorothy told the boys stories of potatoes and how they were picked by the light of the moon. All this could be how I have come to like potatoes. So her family persevered through the Great Depression. They didn't give up. They left their home in Iowa after they had lost their home, went to Idaho, stayed for a couple of weeks, picking potatoes. They did what they could. They borrowed a car, borrowed money for gas. The money they earned picking potatoes, they used for gas to get back home. Clarence found another job. The family prospered. They moved to Washington, D.C., and then Hawaii. So them persevering and doing whatever they had to do, it kept their family together. Then they wound up having 2 baby boys. So Dorothy had baby brother Bob and Gary. So everything turned out just fine. So in life, when you face hardships, persevere, knowing there's light at the end of the tunnel. If you like Potato, A Tale from the Great Depression, please press like at the end, and I'll see you next time at Cindy Harper Speaks. Thanks for tuning in, and bye for now.